What's going on, YouTube? Run Good Vapes coming at you with a mod review. We're taking a look at a mod I really didn't know anything about. We are going to look at the Sigelei J150. So I haven't been up to date on all the newest mods. So many mods have come out from so many different companies that this is one that must have slipped through the cracks on me. Element Vape reached out to me. This product was made available for this review by elementvape.com. They reached out to me and asked if I could review the Sigelei J150 for them. And I was like, sure. I did not know much about Sigelei's new products. Now I do. But they did send me the J150, and right out of the box, the look of it, I was like, what the hell is this? It's a new design. It's really compact, really small. We'll go over that in the close-up. But just unbelievable feel. It's different. It's durable. The build quality is exceptional. It is only available in the black and red, and then red and black, just opposite, where this panel is black and this panel is red. Those are the only two color options right now. I don't know if Sigelei is going to bring this out in other color options later, but currently those are your only two options. So if you just hate red, sorry about your luck. I think this would have been a great mod in all black too. It's just very durable, very slick. I like the clean professional look. I like the diamond buttons there. I like the display. It's got the same chip as the Sigelei 213, but obviously the J150 goes up to 150 watts. One thing I do want to say, Sigelei made a smaller version of this mod as well. That's called the J80. Goes up to 80 watts. It's much smaller than even an eVic Mini. So the VTC eVic Minis, the 80 watt is even incredibly smaller than a VTC Mini. Both LiPo batteries. They finally announced it is a 2000 mAh LiPo battery, but I'm going to tell you right now, the battery life on this thing is incredible. I cannot kill this battery. I charge it every night. Yesterday it wasn't even half dead after a full day of use. I don't know what they're doing. One of the only downfalls I found right before we go to the close-up here is it does take forever to charge. But I think that 2000 mAh, they waited to announce it. I don't know why. It might be a little undershooting. I don't know. I'd love to take one apart. Maybe somebody will. But very, 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 very impressed with battery life. And let's take you guys down to a close-up, and then we'll come back up, talk on it, and vape on it a little bit. So this is the close-up of the Sigelei J150. And a few features I want to point out real quick. This 510 is slightly raised. And I kind of like that when the tank's on the mod. In fact, let's throw this Aspire Atlantis Evo on there. When the tank's on the mod, you'll see just the slightest, maybe half a millimeter raise right there off the rest of the mod. Makes that just go cohesively a little nicer, fits a little tighter. There's no gimmicky 510. It's an excellent 510. I've never been a huge Sigelei fan at all. The newer version of the 150 TC might be the only mod that I was really, really impressed with. I haven't been a big fan of the 213, but which we are going to be reviewing soon. But this J150 is the first mod from Sigelei that I am absolutely in love with. I'm super, super impressed. Just clean top fit on that 510. Every tank I look on, this looks super tan, super good, and just so smooth. And the feel on this mod is just exceptional. It's very smooth, nothing crazy. The material is zinc alloy, and it feels really good. One of the other pluses is this on-off switch. So there's no more clicking 5 times to turn it on and off. You just hit this switch. And this switch, it's a pretty firm switch, so it's not going to bounce around in your pocket. You're not going to be turning it on in your pocket and then auto-firing. You're not going to be turning it off if you're one that keeps it on. It's pretty simple. As you see here, the chip is very similar. Actually, it is exact same chip as the 213. A couple options on here. It's going to show the 45 watts. And it's going to show everything here, the voltage, it's going to show your ohm resistance, and oh, let's throw this on here so we can actually see what she looks like when she fires for you guys. I'm going to show you a couple really cool options on this. The menu isn't extensive, which I like. See, it just changes to true, what's actually happening there, which is solid. And the other two features I'm going to show you, if you click this 3 times, you're going to go into the menu system. It's nothing crazy. It's just power, stainless steel, titanium, nickel, TCR, and TFR. I don't use the TCR, TFRs. I'm not a memory guy. And I have experimented this a little bit in temperature control. I am going to say Sigelei has done really good with TC in the past, and that's continued with this mod. I haven't noticed any inconsistencies to how I vape TC on the crown. So I'm pretty impressed with that, at least for the stainless steel option, which is the only TC feature I have used. But I generally vape in power mode these days. I am at 45 watts on the 0.4 coil in this Atlantis Evo, which is amazing. We put that review up the other day. A couple things I do want to show you. If you hold the down and the fire button, you can lock your buttons. What this does is lock in your wattage. You're not going to be able to change your wattage because it'll just say buttons locked. But you can still fire it, which is super cool. Clear that out quick. But super cool that you can still fire it. That way, one thing I have noticed, last night I was out and about and I let somebody else hit it, and he was just holding this button down because his thumb sat a little lower. And when I went to hit it, he's like, why isn't this vaping? I hit it, and I'm like, whoa, I'm at 85 watts. That's why you were holding the wrong button. So it is kind of cool to have that feature. You know you're not going to hit anything but the fire button. You're not going to change your wattage at all if you have that option utilized. So if I'm out and about around other people that might try to use my mod or something, that might be a feature that I might utilize, but we'll unlock those. The other really cool feature on this Sigelei J150 is that you can do a ramp up. So if you hold the fire button and the up button like I just did, you need to hold them a little longer than you need to do to lock the buttons. Just continue to hold them until it goes from power adjustment to this actual screen. And this thing will not focus. But I have it at 48.5 watts for half a second. So on higher tanks, higher maybe RDAs, you can decipher, like you could with the DNA 200, a ramp up time. You know, you could put this at 100 watts for a full second, and then it'll drop down to whatever your menu is set at normally, whatever your power wattage is set at normally. I really enjoy that. I love that you can do that. That was one of my favorite things that you could do with the DNA 200 chips. And I love that other mods are starting to implement that more and more. That's a big win for the J150 as well. I have right next to me a Stout, so we'll just put it up next to the Vapor Flask Stout. It is going to be a hair shorter and about the same width, I would say, on the front part. So we'll show you from the bottom here. So not much different. It is about the same height as a VTC Mini, and the J80 is much smaller, but the J150 is about the same height as the VTC EVIC Mini, and just super impressed with the size. Feels great. It is a little wider than the EVIC VTC Mini that we all generally use for comparison on mod size, but again, the bottom air vents for battery cooling is perfect. I love that there's more. A lot of companies use too few. I don't like it when my mod gets hot. Again, that's awesome safety feature for anything with a LiPo battery too. The more holes, the better. And I am just super impressed with this Sigelei J150. So let's take it back up. We'll vape on it a little bit. We'll tell you what we like and what we don't like. So guys, to tie up the Sigelei J150, we'll go over a few specs real quick. The wattage range is 10 watts to 150 watts, so if you are a mouth-to-lung vapor, you could run this as low as 10-12 watts and have battery life for days. It's a small enough device, it's not going to look crazy with like a Nautilus X on it. Obviously this is a smaller tank and it looks perfect, so if you're into the mouth-to-lung, this battery would last you forever. The price I've seen are all really, really affordable. I'm going to link you to Element Vape's site below. Very affordable mod. The TC range is going to be 100 degrees or 200 degrees Fahrenheit, 570 degrees Fahrenheit. So the high end, it's not going to let you go crazy, but 570 Fahrenheit, not many people are vaping over that anyway, so pretty perfect there. The voltage input's 6.4 to 8.4, and the maximum current's 35 amps. So pretty normal for a LiPo, and it does support the stainless steel, titanium, nickel, and the resistance range, it fires down to 0.1, so don't build below 0.1. I never ever suggest that on a LiPo mod anyway. But let's talk about what we like and what we don't like. I don't know if I've come up with the thing I don't like about this mod yet. The J80, the smaller version of this, the charge port, which is on the front bottom of this one, 2 thumbs up for that, is on the bottom of the J80. I do not like bottom charging ports, because you have to like set it on a counter and position it just right, which actually is pretty easy with this one, but with the J80 being so small, it's difficult. The mini volt, you know, mods like that, you just gotta position them just right, hope they don't fall or take the tank off, and I'm lazy, I don't like to do that. So big win for the J150. It is on the front of the device, so I don't have to worry about any of those problems. Another thing I love is the on-off switch. Some people, at first I was like, what the heck, an on-off switch? But the more I use this, the more I realize it's an excellent, excellent feature. I feel much more confident throwing it in my pocket with it off, and I've just really grown to love that. Another excellent feature of this is the feel, the way it fits in your hand, the way it feels when you're vaping. The weight is perfect, not too heavy, not too light. It's done really well with putting out exactly the wattage that I feel it should comparatively to other devices. And I think the look's a big win too. I like the classy look here. If you're not a red fan, this mod's not going to be for you. I don't mind red. I like the black and red look. I think it's clean. I think it's classy. Some people are going to say it reminds them of the Chicago Bulls. Well, that's okay too. Go Michael Jordan, right? How long has he been retired? Like 50 years. But super, super big win from the Sigelei camp with the J150. This is only the second mod they've ever made that I am absolutely in love with. The first being that second edition 150, which did the TC mode. It was a little funky looking, but it was one of the best mods ever made at the time. And this would be the second mod from Sigelei that I am absolutely in love with. And as I've talked to other reviewers around the country, I'm making the same decision that many of them have made too. This has now become my daily setup. This is what I use when I'm on the go, when I leave the house, when I don't want to use my Manhattan V2 Mac, which I use pretty much constantly. But when I'm in the car, when I'm on the road, this has now been with me since it came out of the box, and will continue to be. I love this setup. Big shout out to Element Vape, because they actually sent me both of these to review. We posted the Atlantis Evo video the other day, and I'm really, really thankful, because this has literally become my go-to setup. I'm very impressed. I vape 40 to 50 watts most of the time anyway, because I was on the Cleto for the last several months, so this fits into where I'm at anyway, with a much cleaner, much easier feel to carry around than the Vapor Flask Stout, which has been my go-to for a while in the car and on the move, and now this has definitely taken over. Super, super, super impressed. 2 huge thumbs up. I'm going to link in the info below Element Vape's website, where they are selling this for a very, very reasonable price, so you guys will be stoked to know that. And yeah, I'll also include some information on Run Good Vapes and on CASAW. Make sure to head over to their website, check out how to support their right to be smoke-free, the coalition lawsuit. We all need to fight for our rights, we know that. If you guys liked what you heard today, please hit the thumbs up, and more importantly, go over and subscribe. Watch the future videos. Go back, check out some of the old ones if you're new to the channel. But if you didn't like what you hear, hit the thumbs down and tell me why. I love to do things different. I make these videos for you guys. I have a blast, but I love doing what I'm doing. So thank you guys for all the support of Run Good Vapes. And as always, vape on, guys.